Hi guys, welcome back. You up for a challenge? Remember that party planner program? What we're going to do now is make it more interactive with some of the skills we've learned over the last couple of lectures. Okay, so here are the resources for today's lecture. And this is the original party planner. And if you remember it, basically it sort of worked out how much it would cost for a catering of an event. And you would have choices of hors d'oeuvres, soups and salads, side dishes, desserts, alcohol, music, all kinds of neat things. So if you recall when we did this, what we wanted to do here is we physically went to each cell and typed in, for instance, the number of guests we were going to have at our party. And then you would go to each one of the choices. Like for instance, hors d'oeuvres, you might pick number 1. And for soups and salads, you might pick number 3. And as you did that, all the numbers changed to appropriately tell you the total cost of your party. Now, what I want you to do is modify this now so that we don't physically go into the cells, because that's dangerous. We might accidentally, or someone that you let use this spreadsheet might accidentally go over here and erase one of the formulas. Okay, so what I want you to do is modify this spreadsheet so it implements obviously a macro, which begins by welcoming the user to the party planner and then prompts the user to enter the 8 items of information from the hors d'oeuvres, the number of guests, all the way down to the music. Now I've got a couple of versions of the solution. I'll start off with the first one that's fairly basic and straightforward. This one here, like I mentioned, starts off with a welcome screen, then right away goes and asks you for the number of guests and then all your different choices. Only problem with this one, and it goes through and gives you the final answer obviously, the only problem with this one is if I want to do it again, I've got to close it, reopen it, and start again. So I'd like you to do the next version. So the second version implements basically the same ideas, except when the screen pops up, the opening for the workbook only has this welcome screen. Then I call another sub procedure which implements the rest of the macro. Okay, so after I do this, it asks for the guests, so looks and works basically the same. Okay, but one more feature, I don't have to exit and reopen it to make it play again, right? I also implement a little button here so that when I press it, I can do it all over again for another particular catering job. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. I'd like you to stop the video, and then after you're done, you can restart it and we'll go through the solution just in case you had any issues with it. Okay, how'd it go? Pretty straightforward. Hopefully you used one of the previous examples to help you as a guide. Let's take a look at all the code. So we'll go up to developer, we'll go straight to Visual Basic Code. Now let's click on this workbook first. So all I've got here is the welcome, and then I call party get. All right, that's what I called this sub procedure. In party get, I've declared a bunch of variables. These are all the ones that I'm asking for, like number of guests, hors d'oeuvres, soup, and everything else. I've got one object that I declare, and that's my sheet party. And then I activate that sheet party by making it point to that particular spot, that worksheet in particular. I called it the party sheet. Then basically it's just a number of input boxes, okay, for each of the different combinations. Okay, now as I do each input box, right away I take the value that that person entered, take the quotes off of it because all of these are numbers, and then store it in the proper location in the spreadsheet. Okay, so you had to make sure you knew exactly where these things were going. Okay, and that's basically what I do all the way through. So it's not that challenging, it's not that bad. Now, what if a person decided to type in an 8? Well, there is no 8. How about a -5? There is no -5. So this application that we're looking at right now, we're going to keep revisiting it. And each time we're going to add a couple more features. And maybe the next time we're going to add some error checking where if we do get an incorrect number entry, we tell them, please enter it again. Then we'll make it even more sophisticated. Okay, so we're going to revisit this and some other applications as we get more knowledgeable in our techniques to use macros and VBA programming. Okay, so hopefully you got it to work, and let's give it a try one more time. All right, so executes it right here. All right, number of guests, we're going to have a big wedding, 500 people. We're going to pick 1 for hors d'oeuvres, and then we'll pick 2, 3, 2, 3 again, 2, and our last one, the choice of music, and we'll work out our final total down at the bottom. Okay, so there you have a simple but nice application of using strings and using the input box command to make our macros now very interactive. Thanks for listening. Take care. We'll see you in the next lecture.